Okay, so to to us to be able to actually build anything, I guess we need to go through a few phases of planning. So let's do just that. So here I have a basic to-do list. Usually, how I like to structure my projects, and when I, for example, start working on a new idea or something like that, I like to think of the name of whatever it is that I'm building. Figure out if there is a domain name available or not, which is pretty much these two uh, are not really like priority. That can be left for the later stage. I guess what's more important is, excuse me, defining who the target market is, who are you trying to sell this to, who is your audience, who will actually pay you money for something like that. Then define features and what the minimal viable product would be. Uh, Set pricing, launching, and profit. Now, there is a catch. Defining who the target market uh, is basically to figure out if your product has a product market fit. The best thing to do this is by talking to actual customers. So in our case, we will be building a Bentobox clone. So what I would do is I would reach out to at least 50 restaurants. You can find on Yelp, you can find on Google. Just Google restaurants you would be interested in and you think are a good fit. Find ones with crappy websites and just send them a cold email. And for example, what I would say is, hey, my name is Marco. I'm building this thing that can possibly help your business. Would you have 2 hours available for me to actually go over things with you and get your feedback? uh, of course, 2 hours is just like to stand out. It doesn't need to be 2 hours. But yeah, like pretty much you want to sit down with them, you want to talk to them, you would want to explain the high uh, overall concept of what is that you're trying to build. Also keep in mind the biggest question you should be asking is what's in it for them, because they will be asking themselves what's in it for me. If there is a problem that you're trying to solve, trying to present the problem you're trying to solve to them and try to present the solution, because maybe the problem you're trying to solve doesn't actually exist. Maybe that problem is what you think the problem is, but that is not actually the problem. Maybe there is a reason why the certain things are being done a certain way. So by actually talking to these business owners, in our case restaurant owners, we would find out if there is actually a need for a tool like this, and if they're willing to give you money for that. Now, there is also a catch. You can also try to run pre-sales, so you can say, okay, I'm not quite sure what the actual pricing will be for my product once it's released, but for you as an early adopter, I'm going to give it to you the full access for $100 if you write me the check right now. Now, why is this important? It's important because them telling you, oh, yeah, absolutely, we would be your customers, just let us know when you're live and we'll talk more. That doesn't really mean much. They can be telling you that just to get you through the door. They can be, telling you that because that's maybe what, excuse me, you would like to hear. Like there are so many reasons why they would be telling you stuff like this, but unless they actually get their checkbook out and they write you a check or give you $100 cash, or it doesn't matter what it is, that doesn't mean that your idea is validated. I'm also not really a big fan of landing pages and trying to collect emails, simply because, like, I'm sure you're also getting like hundreds of emails a day from like some websites you excuse me, you left your email like months ago, and now you keep getting spam and all these offers that you're not really interested in. So I don't think that's probably the good idea to validate your product. The best thing is to hit the pavement, go and talk to these people who are actually your customers, and you might be surprised. You might learn something completely new. You might learn that there is actually a problem, but not the problem you thought the problem was and you're trying to solve, and maybe you're just gonna shift your focus to something else within the spec of what you're trying to do. So that's why defining the target market and defining the product market fit, I guess we can put here as well, and finding the product market fit, that would probably number one on the list I would do. So once you have the product market fit, the next thing what would make sense would to define features and to define what your minimal viable product is. So the whole concept around MVP is that you would launch the least amount of features required for you to be live and get traction or customers without spending months and months and months developing your product. So you would say, okay, this set of features makes sense to me. It makes sense to my customers. This is what we will be launching for the first release, and we will be iterating on that. So, for example, since we're building a restaurant website builder, the minimal viable product in our case would be a restaurant owner or a manager should be able to register on our platform. They should be able to create a location. So let's actually type that out as well. So let's put here MVP. So we need restaurant manager to be able to register on our website. We also need them to be able to add their locations. So a restaurant can have one or many locations. We need them to be able to upload their menus. We also need them to do what? They should be able to customize their profile, upload their logo. Oops. Add business hours, add full address. We will be using their address to show the map in the front end. What am I typing here? Address. What else do we need? We need them to maybe match website color theme with their brand. And for the menu, and that's pretty much it, I think. And then, of course, the whole point of the restaurant builder is to be able to connect their newly created website with their existing or new domain name. So these are sets of features that would make sense for our first release. So let's see here. The only thing that is going to be a little bit complex in all of these is the connecting their website with existing or new domain name. Now there are a few things we can go around with this. We can use maybe DNSsimple.com APIs and allow them to purchase a domain directly from our platform. We could also maybe use some CNAME records or something that can point out back to their profile or whatever it's going to be. Because what I'm assuming is once you build the platform, we can say whatever name.com, and we will probably have something like restaurants, and then let's for example use an ID of a restaurant, right? So we would probably have something like this, or we would probably have something like restaurants one, and then under the one is actually number ID of the account, and we can be listing locations under there. But this would be probably in some JSON format as well, to be used for the front end. So there are some things that we can be doing here, but again, more planning in some of the next videos. So then, okay, once the MVP feature sets are done, you also need to think about not only the features but also benefits uh, for why your platform is actually good, and for example, what feature equals what benefit for the restaurant. For example, if you want to play on the online ordering thing, you can say we can save you X amount of time, but integrating online ordering for your restaurant and stuff like that. The last thing you want to do is set pricing for your services. You need to be careful here as well. You need to put into the account of your costs, how much your servers are actually costing you, any licenses you need to pay, any other fees involved, and then based on that you set the pricing. Also, you need to see what others are doing. So the competitors, unfortunately, they don't really let you see the pricing here. Uh, but yeah, I mean, they're definitely you essentially what you want to do is you want to provide a better service for less money than your competition. That's one of the options. Other option is you can provide better service for way more money, which again, it's a realistic option. You do not need to be extremely cheaper than everybody else. You don't want to do something that's called a race to the bottom. You want to provide quality service for the money that makes sense for your company to grow. So don't don't try to play on the money card that you are cheaper, and that then being cheaper, that's your only advantage. That's completely wrong approach. You want to be providing a better service for less or more money, and that's it. Okay, so this is the first part of the actual planning video. We will go into more details and more in depth about the actual business side before we actually start running any code. And I guess probably video number 4 or 5 we will be actually be starting and building the actual platform. So that's it for now. Thank you.